A flattened existence. When you consider the crunching of matter and the stretching of light from a singular energy, you see that using flattened geometries will have an effect in the fluid of time. All solid shapes become stretched. A flat ring made of a dense material may act like a simple cylinder. Let's go back to the magic squares, which is the foundation of all matter and our conscious antenna, aka the magic sphere. Magic squares and energetic vortices. Magic squares are unique patterns of numbers that have been laid out on a grid in such a fashion that the exterior sums are the same. They can be in all shapes and sizes of grids. For the purposes of energetic vortices, the 4x4 grid is important. In the following magic square, all verticals, horizontals, diagonals, corners, and more may add up to 34. Each set has been color-coded in the previous image. When you draw a line connecting the numbers in an ascending fashion, you notice 4 patterns emerging. When you consider the structure traveling through time or moving along the z direction, you notice it makes a scalar vortex. Let's now look at how infinite creations may emerge from the concept of the magic square. Consider our entire universe or experience is equal to the square of value 1. Each complete set represents a single vortex in our frame of motion. Let's now use the harmonization of the magic square to show how creations are formed. By continuing to multiply our square by 4x4, we are able to make more complex structures that remain in harmony within the universe. At the same time, nothing may emerge, and the system may remain a 1 or any multiple of 2 to the n. 2, 4, 8, 16, 32, 64, 128, 256, and so on. Each one of those values represents a complete system or vortex. Let's now relate this to our conscious antenna, aka the magic sphere, and our ability to harmonize with the crunching of matter and stretching of light. In order for information to be received, it must resonate in harmony with human consciousness at some degree. The most primitive degree possible is the quantum level. If our entire universe or delta wave is the 1, then we are able to relate conscious experience to reality via 2 to the n, where the diameter of each following square is 1/4 the length of the layer above. This means if delta is 1, then theta is 1/4. In the previous drawing, you could say the entire system is a 1. The red sphere would be a 2, and each blue sphere would represent a 4. The simple grid below shows what 256 squares would look like. It is possible to map the entire universe and our experience in this manner. All manifestations are related to the doubling or fractal nature of reality. I would highly recommend reading John Searle's, inventor of the flying disc, work on the law of the squares. Stacking squares. When you consider the magic square, it is flat. It represents the field of a uniform vortex that is not expanding or contracting. However, what would happen if you were to stack magic squares with one on top of the other? Looking at the diagram, you can see how you may combine simple vortices to create one that is expanding or contracting. Theoretically, when orientated in the direction of density, energy or waves passing through may become more or less dense. This would translate into transmutation of an element or the telescoping of a conscious experience. When orientated perpendicular to this field, it may translate into physical motion and or time dilations. An electromagnetically powered square. Each number represents a sort of stone being tossed into a pond which creates ripples that overlap with the one next to it. The overlapping of all the ripples creates the experience manifested. Could we turn on and off squares if we powered them with electromagnetic coils? Magic squares represent vortices of all energetic types. If you use electromagnets, you will create an electromagnetic vortex. If you use water waves, you will create a whirlpool. If you use sound, you will create a tornado. A universal perspective. We may now have a new appreciation for the Great Pyramids of Egypt and countless other ancient sites. Are the true capstones of the pyramids really missing? Have we not been misunderstanding our perspective? When you uncrunch the matter and crunch the light in this image, you see that the two structures, one made of light and the other made of a solid, may form one singular, uniform field of energy. 1. With our new awareness of magic squares, we may now have a better understanding how a singular energy may create all particles, waves, thoughts, conscious relationships, quantum effects, and more. We are all unique individuals. However, we harmonize as one. A blossoming flower. With our new understanding of the infinite pool of experience and awareness, we may see that our universe is blossoming like a flower into the sixth dimension. Water is time. When we look at the flow of primordial energy from the perspective of the sixth dimension, we see it as part of a growing structure. Our universal experience is a result of energy flowing into a black hole. In our experience, we see the spark of new conscious experiences as energy flows into the black hole of every galactic center. We are one part of a structure that is growing into the sixth dimension. We are the harmonizers of that structure. Through love and synchronization, we flow like a river into the next layer of experience as it branches out like water in a lake heading out to sea, or like a flower blossoming towards the sun. We are the water of the 1/6 dimension, the dimension inwards to where an electron is a universe. We flow like water, we are water, and we are time. We are all one. The next section is a series of 19 poems that relates to all the information recently presented, followed by a section of philosophical discussions. Animals are equal. The earth is filled with life and breath. Plants and animals all take rest. The cat is a feline, the wolf is a canine, some plants are trees and bees are bees. We created titles and named it a bee. Look at that giraffe, it's so tall and goofy. We created division by looking at the differences. We created a split because of our internal wit. We think we are greater, so we raise them and farm. We think we are greater, so we poison and harm. Our knowledge is our gift to be used for good. Let's help our friends in need by not burning all their wood. The deer need water, the coconut plants too. That makes them just as noble as both, me and you. We do have a gift, let's use it wisely. We are guardians of this space, so let's make it a peaceful place. Focus on the earthly and help protect that as grand. Stones, plants, and animals are all beings of this land. Man-made goals and man-made dressings are simply man-made and deserve no blessings. So put your energy where you be and help your enemy plant a tree. We are all on the same side, that is the human. We are magical and mystical, so let's get down and physical. Let's save the furry ones and let the green life grow. Let's stop demolishing nature for future generations to know. We have just one world, we have just one place, so let's take it and make it great for every future race. Fortune for fools. A man's fortune is his goal. A fortune of man's creations helps man forget life and live easy. He has dammed up rivers and torn through mountains just to live easy in golden fountains. However, fortune comes in many ways and can be as free as the ocean's waves. Enjoy the simple life and live with ease, for man does not need all these luxuries. 100% leisure time. The man with gold sits high on his mountain. Yes, he has women and a diamond-encrusted fountain. He has no deeds to do, no promises to keep. He's dappled and drowsy and ready to sleep. The man with no money, he sits happy and homely. He might have a lady and a box with some gravy. He has no deeds to do, no promises to keep. He's dappled and drowsy and ready to sleep. The ones in the middle, fighting for pride and glory, oh how they be a riddle obtaining their story. With fight and stress, it's really a mess, going higher and lower, trying daily to impress. To be a named title, one created by man, makes life a struggle of the highest demand. It is those who fight it, that what is natural. Man made all those titles, those that simply create rivals. Take it as it is simply a game. With winners and losers, it's a man-made reign. Money does not make you great. Pride does not make you wise. To be humble and courteous is truly a noble prize. If you make money, good for you, but that doesn't constitute happiness too. Acceptance is key, tolerance a shift. To love is our goal, it's a natural gift. We all have time with no deeds to do, to be dappled and drowsy and feeling groovy too. So look at it right, the day is bright. With poor and rich alike, we are all in this fight. So remember that wisely and enjoy your day, because life is fun. Go out and play. Natural tools. Our tools allow us to see our world. Sound, sights, and more truly open the door. But where does it come from? Where does it go? Was it not here all along for all of us to know? The sounds you hear come straight from my voice. The feelings you feel say hot, cold, dry, and moist. The smells you sniff warn our belly of danger. The colors you see come from the sun indeed. We grew with wind, and that is why we hear. We grew with each other, hence the size of our ear. We grew with the earth, and that is why we feel. We grew with flesh, and that is why we heal. The sun circles around us, and that is why we see. The colors of yellow are dead center with me. And so we grew on more than just earth, and so we grew to prove solar worth. Our planet is close, the sun is far. All time exists, we were raised in this bar. The sense of time is far overlooked, one so obvious we know not its worth. The past is the past, solid as stone. So why not the future? Do we not turn to bone? We see the light from blue to red. More waves exist on both sides, more than in the head. Time, like our vision, comes from growing in place. Time, like our vision, comes from evolving in space. Not only did we grow on the earth like we know, not only in a system made of bright stars that glow, we grew in expansion, we grew to be aware. The present is most important, and the future just a glare. But it all exists in a moment of kind. It is all a delusion created by the mind. So believe and it's real, don't and you doubt. Expectations create reality, just something to think about. The Master. Imagine the master, one with impeccable skill. No deed too difficult performs any task at will. His last attempt was his best, his next will be even better. A learning curve of mathematical wizardry, this man is in tune with his flow. He does not doubt nor take word to mind. His dreams are his reality, and the universe is his toy. He laughs at our games and sees it as a joke, people going insane over money, fame, and smoke. These things mean nothing to him. This world is a starting point. With great visions of magnitude, he has dreams for our joint. We'll take off into space and prove our solar worth. Physically and mentally, they must both be of birth. Our bodies have flown to the moon and beyond, but now our minds and spirits be gone. A body exists with all three in play. The Master thinks of this and has this to say. Our bodies have proved worth, yet our minds lag behind. Physically we fly, but spiritually we grind. All three must rise as a single solid unit. Body, spirit, and mind, all three of a kind. Let's lose focus of the physical, we can see that indeed. Let's focus on the mystical, for that creates new seed. These seeds will grow and turn man to know that the Master's flow comes from a Creator's woe. It cannot be touched with the physical as you like, for his knowledge is a gift for everyone's delight. So let loose in your mind and let your soul go, for the physical and visible is not all there is to know.